In every age, people have asked the same questions. What is the good life? How should we treat one another? What does it mean to be free or virtuous or just? What does it mean to be human? Western moral philosophy for beginners and Selenius Media takes you on a guided journey through the minds that shaped the moral backbone of the West, from the earliest Greek thinkers to the modern age. Lived stories of struggle, ambition, conflict, revelation, all unfolding against the sweep of history. If you've ever wanted to understand philosophy clearly, calmly, and humanly, if you want to know not just what these thinkers argued, but why it mattered, follow Western moral philosophy for beginners today and explore 10 more podcasts at Selenius Media. Michel de Montaigne, a prominent figure of the French Renaissance, is best known for his innovative contributions to moral philosophy through his work, the Essais, which offers deeply personal reflections on human nature, ethics, and the complexities of life. Living during the late 16th century, Montaigne sought to explore and understand the human experience in all its nuances, representing a shift from the rigid rationalism of scholasticism to a more subjective, introspective approach to understanding morality. At the heart of Montaigne's moral philosophy lies his exploration of skepticism and relativism. He was one of the earliest proponents of the idea that human knowledge is fundamentally limited, arguing that our beliefs and values are shaped by our cultures, experiences, and contexts rather than existing as universal truths. This skepticism is most clearly articulated in his essays, which reflect a desire to question commonly accepted norms and practices of his time. Montaigne famously stated, sais-je, or what do I know, as a guiding principle, challenging readers to recognize the limitations of absolute knowledge. One of Montaigne's key contributions to moral philosophy is his examination of the self. He believed that understanding oneself is crucial to understanding others and, by extension, the world. Through his essays, he delved into themes of identity, behavior, and morality, using his own life as a foundation for broader philosophical inquiries. His work emphasizes the importance of introspection, inviting readers to reflect on their own beliefs, biases, and experiences in shaping their moral compass. In the Essays, Montaigne tackled a wide array of subjects, yet some of his most enduring ideas revolve around the complexities of human emotions and moral judgments. For instance, he deeply investigated the nature of empathy and friendship, asserting that these connections are fundamental to the human experience. He observed that friendship, in its purest form, can transcend social and cultural barriers, shedding light on the essential qualities that unite us as human beings. One core argument Montaigne proposes is that moral judgments are often influenced by our subjective experiences rather than an objective standard. He illustrates this by analyzing various customs and practices from different cultures, particularly those encountered during his travels. In one essay, he reflects on the rituals of indigenous peoples in the New World, suggesting that their customs, while foreign to European norms, possess their own logic and ethical frameworks. This line of reasoning invites readers to question ethnocentric views and advocate for a more inclusive understanding of morality that acknowledges the rich tapestry of human experience. Another notable argument Montaigne makes pertains to the theme of mortality and the nature of death. Montaigne contends that acknowledging our mortality can lead to a more profound appreciation for life itself. He urges readers to confront their fears and uncertainties about the end of life, suggesting that this confrontation enables a more authentic existence. By contemplating mortality, individuals can cultivate a sense of urgency and meaning, prompting them to align their actions and priorities with their genuine values. To ground Montaigne's ideas in contemporary contexts, consider how his moral philosophy might illuminate discussions surrounding personal ethics in various fields. In politics, for example, leaders often face moral dilemmas that involve balancing their personal beliefs with the diverse values of their constituents. Montaigne's emphasis on empathy and understanding the multiplicity of perspectives can encourage politicians to engage in more nuanced dialogues, fostering collaboration in an increasingly polarized world. In the realm of medicine, Montaigne's reflections on the human condition resonate with the current debates surrounding patient autonomy and informed consent. His belief in the importance of understanding one's own identity could serve as a reminder for healthcare professionals to acknowledge the unique narratives and values that shape each patient's approach to health and illness. This recognition can enhance the doctor-patient relationship, leading to more compassionate, patient-centered care. Moreover, Montaigne's skepticism about universal truths can be relevant in discussions surrounding technology, particularly in the age of artificial intelligence. As we navigate ethical challenges posed by AI, such as bias and accountability, Montaigne's insights encourage critical reflection on how our own cultural biases might influence the development and deployment of technology. His call for introspection and self-awareness might inspire creators and users of technology to question not only the implications of their innovations, but also the values that inform these decisions. However, Montaigne's ideas do not come without criticisms. One major limitation of his skepticism is the potential for moral relativism, where the absence of objective truths could lead to a paralysis of moral action. Critics argue that if all moral judgments are seen as equally valid, it becomes challenging to condemn harmful practices or actions. For instance, if cultural practices that violate human rights are regarded through a relativistic lens, it could undermine efforts for social justice and reform. Montaigne's reluctance to establish definitive moral guidelines could be seen as problematic in a world that often grapples with ethical crises. In response to these critiques, later thinkers such as Immanuel Kant attempted to establish a moral framework that reconciled subjective perspectives with universal ethics. While Kant acknowledged the importance of individual experiences and reasoning, he proposed the concept of the categorical imperative as a way of providing a guiding principle for moral behavior, emphasizing the necessity of treating each person as an end in themselves, rather than as a means to an end. This approach stands in contrast to Montaigne's skepticism, highlighting the ongoing tension between subjective understanding and the search for objective moral truths in Western philosophy. Moreover, Montaigne's exploration of the self and ethical behavior paved the way for later existentialist thinkers like Søren Kierkegaard and Jean-Paul Sartre. While they diverged from Montaigne in significant ways, the emphasis on personal choice, authenticity, and the subjective experience of existence can be traced back to his inquiries. The existentialists built upon Montaigne's foundation by grappling with the complexities of individual freedom and responsibility, especially in a world devoid of inherent meaning. As we reflect on Montaigne's moral philosophy, it becomes evident that his ideas invite us to examine our own lives for relevance. In an era marked by rapid change, uncertainty, and moral ambiguity, Montaigne's insistence on introspection and empathy remains crucial. He encourages us not only to question our beliefs, but also to broaden our understanding of others, fostering a more inclusive moral framework. Consider how Montaigne's invitation to reflect upon our experiences can shape our everyday decisions. Whether in our personal relationships, professional endeavors, or societal engagements. Recognizing the interplay between our subjective experiences and broader social contexts allows us to navigate moral dilemmas with greater nuance. His reflections serve as a timeless reminder that understanding ourselves and the world requires both courage and humility, emphasizing that the path to ethical living lies not in dogmatic assertions of truth, but rather in the ongoing quest for understanding and connection. In closing, Montaigne's moral philosophy offers a rich tapestry of ideas that resonate with contemporary challenges. By championing skepticism, introspection, and empathy, he provides a framework that encourages us to engage thoughtfully with the complexities of human morality. As we navigate our lives, let us take inspiration from Montaigne's legacy and the importance of examining our beliefs, fostering deeper connections with others, and embracing the uncertainties that come with being human. Through this process, we can cultivate a more meaningful and ethical existence, shaped by both our individual journeys and the rich diversity of human experience that surrounds us. To further unpack Montaigne's moral philosophy, it's essential to delve into his conceptualization of the self and its inherent complexities. Montaigne posits that the essence of being human lies not in static definitions, but in a continuous process of becoming. Through his introspective essays, he brings attention to the myriad factors that shape our identities: culture, societal expectations, personal experiences, and even random occurrences. He invites readers to engage with their own subjectivity, drawing connections between the self and the collective human experience. Montaigne famously discusses the concept of the double in his essays, suggesting that each individual harbors the potential for conflicting identities. This duality reflects the complexity of human nature and serves as a reminder that we are not simply products of a singular narrative. Instead, we are the sum of various influences and experiences, often leading to tensions within ourselves. This notion resonates in contemporary discussions around identity, particularly in an increasingly multicultural world where people often navigate multiple cultural identities simultaneously. Montaigne's reflections on this fundamental aspect of human experience encourage us to embrace our own complexities and those of others, fostering a more inclusive dialogue around identity politics today. One way to apply Montaigne's thoughts on identity to modern settings is through discussions on gender and sexuality. In recent years, societies have begun to recognize the fluidity of identity, challenging traditional binary notions. Montaigne's acceptance of the multifaceted self presages modern theories that argue for a more nuanced understanding of gender and sexual identity. His idea that our understandings of ourselves evolve in response to new experiences supports contemporary movements, advocating for the rights of individuals to define their own identities, free from societal constraints. Consequently, Montaigne's work serves as a philosophical touchstone for those engaged in discussions of identity in today's diverse social landscape. Another pivotal idea in Montaigne's writings is his perspective on education and the development of moral character. He criticizes rigid educational systems that prioritize rote learning and conformity over experiential learning and self-reflection. For Montaigne, true education involves encountering a variety of experiences, allowing individuals to develop their moral sensibilities over time. He believed that wisdom comes not solely from books, but through engaging with the world, embracing its unpredictability, and learning from personal mistakes and insights. In contemporary educational discourse, Montaigne's thoughts on the nature of learning remain profoundly relevant. The movement towards experiential education in various disciplines highlights the importance of learning through experience rather than just theoretical knowledge. Acknowledging Montaigne's perspective could lead to more humane and empathetic educational practices that value emotional learning and critical self-reflection, particularly in a world that often privileges standardized testing and performance metrics. Educators inspired by Montaigne may provide opportunities for students to learn through service projects, collaborative learning, and creative expression, fostering moral development alongside academic success. The interplay of reason and emotion is another significant aspect of Montaigne's philosophical contributions. He recognized that emotions play an integral role in moral judgment, a notion that was not fully appreciated in the rationalist philosophies that flourished after his time. Montaigne urged readers to confront their emotions, recognizing that feelings like fear, love, and anger are essential to human experience and moral discernment. Rather than suggesting that reason should dominate emotion, he advocated for a more harmonious relationship between the two, encouraging people to harness their emotional insights while also employing rational thought. This perspective offers valuable insights into contemporary debates surrounding mental health. As society becomes increasingly aware of the importance of emotional well-being, Montaigne's ideas challenge the stigmas that often accompany emotional experiences. His acceptance of emotions as integral to decision-making aligns with modern psychotherapy approaches that encourage individuals to explore their feelings as part of the healing process. Montaigne's recognition of the interplay between emotion and morality can inspire us to foster environments that embrace emotional honesty, enabling more effective dialogue around mental health issues in medical and social contexts. Critically, it is also essential to examine the limitations of Montaigne's philosophical stance. While his acceptance of cultural relativism encourages open-mindedness and understanding, it can lead to potential ethical pitfalls. The danger of moral relativism, where all viewpoints are equally valid, may inhibit our ability to critique harmful practices or effects that arise from certain cultural norms. In embracing relativism, one could argue that it may be challenging to advocate against practices that infringe on human rights, whether they be honor killings, female genital mutilation, or other traditions that undermine individual autonomy. Here, one might draw comparisons with feminist and human rights movements that challenge relativistic arguments. These movements often underscore the importance of establishing certain universal principles that safeguard individual rights, regardless of cultural context. However, supporters of Montaigne might argue that an absolutist stance could dismiss the cultural specificity of moral experiences, thus failing to appreciate the rich diversity of human life. This ongoing tension between the pursuit of universal ethics and the acknowledgement of cultural specificity continues to shape philosophical discussions in our current era. As thinkers grapple with the complexities introduced by globalization and cross-cultural interactions, Montaigne's philosophical inquiries also have implications for different spheres beyond ethics and identity, the political realm particularly. His skepticism towards certainty can be paralleled with modern political discourse, where rigid ideologies often clash. Given the current polarization in many democratic societies, Montaigne's advocacy for discourse grounded in understanding and empathy could serve as a guiding principle for contemporary political leaders. His reflections on the necessity of acknowledging multiple viewpoints serve as a blueprint for fostering a culture of dialogue rather than division. Moreover, Montaigne's emphasis on the limitations of human knowledge can be seen as particularly pertinent in the context of crisis management today, be it in handling pandemics, climate change, or technological advancements. The challenges of our times often hinge upon leadership that is both informed and adaptable, grounded in humility and a willingness to learn. Leaders who can embody Montaigne's values of introspection and empathy might navigate these crises more effectively by fostering inclusive actions and crafting informed, adaptable policies based on collective wisdom rather than dogmatic assertions. In tracing the legacy of Montaigne, it is instructive to connect him to notable figures in moral philosophy who followed in his footsteps. For example, Friedrich Nietzsche's exploration of the self and embrace of subjective experience can be seen as a nod to Montaigne's earlier assertions regarding the complexities of identity. While Nietzsche diverges significantly from Montaigne in many respects, most notably in his controversial proclamations on morality and truth, he too challenges static conceptions of the self and underscores the fluidity inherent in human existence. This connection illustrates a continuous thread through Western philosophy, linking the Renaissance thinker with the later existentialists who tackled individual freedom, ethical ambiguity, and the plurality of moral perspectives. As we bring Montaigne's introspective insights into our own lives, we should consider how his fundamental principles of skepticism, empathy, and self-reflection apply to our circumstances. In a world beckoning ideological certainty, let us embrace the fluidity of our own truths, acknowledging that there may be no singular path to understanding ourselves or others fully. Montaigne's explorations remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey, one that requires us to confront our biases, listen to differing perspectives, and hold space for uncertainty. In closing, Montaigne's reflections on the human experience encapsulate a philosophy rich in introspection and empathy, weaving together the intricacies of identity, emotion, and moral understanding. His work serves as a reminder that the essence of being human lies not in finding absolute truths, but in grappling with the complexities of existence together. As we navigate our own ethical landscapes, may we take inspiration from Montaigne's legacy to foster connection, embrace our vulnerabilities, and cultivate a more compassionate worldview. In doing so, we honor the ongoing quest for understanding that defines both our personal realities and the collective human condition. To expand upon Montaigne's explorations, it's crucial to delve deeper into how his ideas can enlighten present-day intersections of ethical concerns and social dynamics. His commitment to understanding multiple viewpoints not only encourages a more profound consideration of individual ethics, but also reveals how such reflections can shape broader cultural conversations. Montaigne's essays represent an early articulation of a social contract wherein understanding oneself is intrinsically linked to understanding others, a notion that resonates in contemporary discourses surrounding social justice and civic engagement. One pressing issue where Montaigne's thoughts could be beneficial is in the realm of racial and cultural dynamics. Modern societies, particularly those with diverse populations, often grapple with tensions originating from differing cultural backgrounds. Montaigne's insistence on empathy compels us to approach such dialogues with a mindset open to understanding and listening, rather than immediately reacting or judging. His writings encourage individuals and communities to engage in meaningful exchanges that recognize the legitimacy of various cultural practices, even while critically examining their implications. For instance, when discussing cultural appropriation, Montaigne's ideas urge us to consider the narratives behind cultural practices. Every tradition is informed by a constellation of historical experiences, values, and struggles. By using Montaigne's lens of inquisitive skepticism, individuals can assess not just the act of appropriation itself, but the broader contexts that inform their understanding of culture. This reflective approach could foster richer discussions, moving beyond simplistic notions of right and wrong to a more nuanced exploration of appreciation, respect, and accountability. Moreover, Montaigne's philosophies provide a framework through which we can examine our responses to societal tensions, such as those arising from discussions on privilege and systemic injustice. In advocating for a comprehensive understanding of the self, Montaigne implicitly calls for individuals to interrogate how their unique experiences have shaped their perceptions of morality and justice. This introspection can be vital in recognizing inherent biases and blind spots that often accompany privilege. By embracing skepticism and humility, individuals can begin to dismantle assumptions that perpetuate injustice, engaging in dialogues that strive towards greater equity and understanding. In the realm of environmental ethics, Montaigne's thoughts on the complexities of human experience can illuminate our relationship with nature. His acknowledgement of the interconnectedness of life, including the ethical implications of our choices, bears relevance in today's urgent discussions around climate change and sustainability. Approach to our understanding of environmental issues, compelling us to consider a variety of perspectives from those of indigenous peoples whose lives are inextricably linked to their environments, to global citizens facing the dire consequences of ecological degradation. As we face multifaceted challenges concerning the environment, Montaigne's assertion that personal experiences shape our understanding of ethics invites us to rethink our relationship with nature. Understanding the diverse cultural perspectives on land and resource usage may not only foster sustainable practices, but also encourage a collective stewardship of the environment. This ethos aligns with a growing recognition that effective environmental action requires empathy and collaboration among communities rather than a top-down imposition of solutions. Montaigne's influence stretches beyond direct ethical implications. It offers rich soil from which various movements can draw inspiration. Think of feminist philosophies that explore the construction of gender identities and norms, which echo Montaigne's inquiries into the self's complexities. Montaigne's rejection of fixed identities and norms resonates with contemporary feminist discourse that celebrates fluidity and challenges the rigidity of traditional gender roles. He reminds us that human identity is not monolithic. It is a dynamic interplay of experiences influenced by culture, society, and personal choice. In a world that often seeks to pigeonhole individuals into predefined categories, Montaigne's perspective encourages a broader acceptance of diverse identities. His philosophical invitation reverberates in modern movements that advocate for inclusivity, not just in gender, but also in racial, cultural, and sexual identities. The challenge is to honor this diversity while also striving for an overarching understanding of collective rights and responsibilities. Looking further into Montaigne's philosophical legacy leads us to consider ethical consumption, a contemporary concern that mirrors his skepticism about absolute truths. In an era dominated by consumerism, Montaigne's reflections could guide individuals toward more ethically responsible choices. His emphasis on self-reflection pushes consumers to question their motivations and the implications of their purchases. Are we purchasing out of necessity, or are we responding to cultural pressures? What are the consequences of our consumption patterns on global communities and the environment. Montaigne's teachings remind us of the importance of being conscious participants in economic systems. Such introspection can heighten awareness of the complexities surrounding fair trade, corporate responsibility, and environmental sustainability, inviting individuals to consider how their choices impact others and the planet. By fostering ethical consumption grounded in reflection, we can cultivate a marketplace that aligns more closely with our moral beliefs, thus contributing to a more just and sustainable world. While Montaigne's perspective serves as a guiding framework in many ethical discussions, it's important to acknowledge that he was not without limitations, particularly concerning issues of identity and politics. His essays reflect a human-centered perspective that primarily engages with the experiences of European elites, casting a shadow over marginalized voices and experiences. Critics have pointed out the potential for his work to inadvertently perpetuate a Eurocentric worldview, which could sideline the moral complexity offered by indigenous and non-Western philosophies. In recognizing Montaigne's limitations, it is essential to incorporate diverse voices into our ethical framework, enriching discussions with perspectives that offer alternative understandings. This acknowledgement becomes part of the ongoing dialogue about moral philosophy today, where interdisciplinary approaches are essential to confronting intricate social problems. By melding Montaigne's insights with those of post-colonial theorists or indigenous scholars, we can enrich ethical discourse, enabling it to account for the multiplicity of human experience. In connecting Montaigne's contributions with those of later figures, one can place him alongside thinkers like John Stuart Mill, who advocated for utilitarian ethics. Montaigne's subjective nature of moral understanding offers a counterpoint to Mill's consequentialist approach, suggesting a more holistic view of morality that emphasizes individual experiences without losing sight of broader societal impacts. This intermingling of perspectives showcases how Montaigne's introspection could serve as a necessary foundation for expanding the moral inquiries initiated by later philosophers. Furthermore, the implications of Montaigne's philosophy can be traced to contemporary debates surrounding digital ethics. As technology becomes an inseparable part of our lives, the ethical dilemmas we face have multiplied, demanding a reconsideration of moral frameworks. Montaigne's skepticism regarding authority and certainty encourages thoughtful engagement with the ethical implications of technology, from data privacy to algorithms that perpetuate social biases. In the digital age, where our identities are often constructed through a virtual lens, Montaigne's exploration of the self can serve as a poignant reminder that our digital existence should reflect our authentic selves rather than perpetuate facades. His advocacy for self-reflection supports discussions surrounding online behavior and accountability, urging individuals to engage ethically in a hyper-connected world. As we navigate the complexities of technological innovation, the interplay between ethics and technology calls for a skeptical approach that challenges the narratives often presented by those in power. Montaigne's insights invite critical inquiry. Should we unconditionally accept technological advancements without considering their ethical ramifications? Just as he encouraged his readers to question established norms, today's digital citizens must remain vigilant about the implications of technology on societal values. Reflecting on Montaigne's enduring legacy, one can see how his moral philosophy provides a necessary framework for engaging with the complexities of contemporary society. The questions he poses about identity, ethics, and the nature of self remain as relevant as ever. They encourage individuals to embark on an introspective journey, recognizing that ethical living is not an absolute path dictated by external standards, but rather a personal and communal exploration shaped by context and experience. As listeners today grapple with their own moral landscapes, they are invited to consider Montaigne's introspective philosophy in their daily lives. How can his skepticism and empathy help guide interactions with others, especially amid the socio-political divides prevalent in many societies. By embracing the core tenets of Montaigne's work, introspection, acknowledgement of diverse perspectives, and the pursuit of empathy, individuals can contribute to a more compassionate world. As we close this deep dive into Montaigne's moral philosophy, let us carry with us the lessons learned from his explorations, a path that encourages continuous questioning and self-awareness, where understanding oneself leads to a broader understanding of humanity. Montaigne's invitation to dive into the depths of our own experiences serves as a timeless challenge for all of us, inspiring reflective engagement with the complexities of human existence in all its diverse expressions. In the spirit of Montaigne, may our journeys toward moral understanding be fueled by curiosity, openness, and a deep-seated commitment to fostering connections in our shared human endeavor.
Midnight rails under silver moon, dusty boots on a winding road. A shadow's the only friend I've known since she packed up and let me go. Empty whiskey bottle on the seat, her laugh still echoes in my bones. Saddle's heavy with memories. I ride alone where the wind still blows. Nowhere else to be. 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 Sunrise paints the horizon gold, but it don't warm a lonesome soul. Every town I pass feels half her size. Every trail's haunted by goodbye. I whisper prayers to open skies, hoping someday my heart'll find a brand new path beyond the pain, where broken hearts can heal in time. Nowhere else to be. 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 Nowhere else to be.